computer. Cool. Okay. All right. Hey, everyone. Today we have a pretty cool community conversation. We have our two newest interns joining the prototype team. We have Gaby Baker and Cayla Ehrlich. Did I say your last name right? I always wonder if I'm saying it right.
It's Ehrlich.
Ehrlich. See, I messed it up. And so we have Cayla and Gaby, and we're super excited. We're going to talk a little bit how we brought them on board. And they're our two newest interns. So it's going to be really cool to see how they develop, how they kind of learn, but also what we could learn from them and see. So I first wanted to start off, and you guys could pick who goes first. I just wanted to kind of hear why you guys chose to apply and become interns at Prototype. And one thing I want to remind you guys, you already got the job, so you could be like real with this and like give like the real answer, not the interview answer.
All right, I can take the lead on it. So basically, I have been going to the CrossFit classes for a few years, like on and off in off seasons with sports. And I just really like the community and like everybody that you're surrounded by when you're in there. So when I saw the post from Steve about an internship, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to spend more time in there. And I decided to apply.
Yeah, so I've been training with Steve for a while now, and I am heading to college next year, so I'm kind of exploring like what I would want to do in like as a job in my future. And I thought that, this community is, it's such an awesome community to be a part of. And I figured I really like working out there. So I figured, why not do this? Why not explore kind of how this path would take me down, I guess, like how would it work? And then yeah, I figured spending a lot of time in this community would kind of help me figure out whether or not this would be a path I would want to take.
Cool. So yeah, Gaby, to follow up on that is yesterday you got your first taste of the community a little bit. You stayed and were manning the front desk at Friday Night Lights and helping out a little bit. What did you take home from that? Because Cayla, I know you've been kind of involved in the community a little bit more because you've been taking the classes, doing the open. Gaby, this was your first taste. So what do you think about that?
No, yeah, I really liked it. I loved how everyone was coming in and just being kind of so supportive of each other, even though they're on opposite teams, I guess to say, but it was really cool to just watch everyone kind of come together and be with each other and be really supportive. It was also really nice to meet a lot of the people who were attending that night too.
Cool. And then Cayla, you crushed the open this year. You had some you're on the leaderboard a few times. I know you finished what was it 22.2?
I think so,
when you
yeah.
finished. Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience like participating in the open and some highlights, some things you learned.
So yeah, I mean, I've grown up like playing sports very competitively. I'm a very competitive person. And so part of CrossFit is that competition, and I really like it. So the open, I think this is the first year I've actually done it, and I really enjoy it. Just like how everybody's in there having a good time, like you're getting whatever you got to do, whatever you need to do done. It's really fun, like especially in the mornings when everybody's like walking in like in a good mood, ready to start the day off.
Yeah, you're a 5 a.m.er, right?
6
a.m. Okay, sorry. So not that. Yeah, that's pretty impressive for a 16, 15?
15-year-old.
15, yeah. I was not waking up that early when I was 15. I could say that to work out, especially. So that's pretty cool. So no, it's I kind of had an idea of why you guys wanted to have the internship. So why don't you guys tell me, Cayla, we can start with you, like how you got involved with Prototype. So it's really awesome that both you guys are members at the gym. You didn't just like have your parents working out here and be like, hey, you should apply for this internship. You guys are here experiencing it, working out. Cayla, how did you get started with Prototype?
So my dad did start at Prototype about like a year or two before me. And he like joined just as like wanting to go to a gym. And when he was going, my brother and I would show up once in a while and just like hang out in the couches in front. And I would like see people doing it. And I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. Like it's a workout, but it's also like a sport. And I was like, oh, I totally want to do this. So once I got older and was able to like lift some weight, I was definitely ready to start up Prototype.
Cool. And Gabby, I'm a little more familiar with your story, but why don't you kind of talk about how you started getting involved in the gym and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I had started, I think, the beginning of my freshman year because I had just moved to Best FC where Steve was coach. And I kind of had expressed an interest, I kind of want to start working out, building my strength to improve like on and off the soccer field. And so Steve kind of had me come in and check out kind of what it was about. And I did a session there to see like how it would be. And then I really enjoyed it. So I signed up and I kept taking it until now.
Yeah, not only did you start doing it, but you got your little brother David to come along with you, and then and dad signed up now too. So that's another thing about you guys, like your families come here. So you guys, it's really cool that you guys have found Prototype as a spot not only for yourselves, but your whole families are coming here and working out, which is really cool. Nice. So you guys are both athletes, right? Kayla, you talked a little bit about it. Gabby, why don't you guys talk a little bit about like what sports you play? So Kayla, why don't you start? I know lacrosse, right? Tell me a little bit about that, what you're doing, what your plans are, all that fun stuff.
So I play field hockey, lacrosse, and I ski race. And I play club lacrosse and field hockey. Ski is kind of like a in between season for me. I really like the people on that team. I'm not I'm not a very good skier, but I like it. And so I just actually came from coaching lacrosse for the first through fourth graders, and field hockey. I started freshman year, maybe eighth grade, and I've loved that sport as well. So
Cool. And your dad is a big lacrosse guy, right? He's coach, right?
yeah,
You've talked about it a few times. Fellow goalie.
he was a goalie in college. We call him Matty Lax.
And he likes. Does he ever let you shoot on him?
Yeah, he let my brother shoot on him during practice today.
Nice.
The
So
pads.
he puts all the pads on and just lets you guys crank shots at him. It's insane.
He didn't put on the pads today, but
Oh
he does
wow.
once in a while.
Wow. For him. I haven't stepped between the pipes in a long time. Speaking of
Goalie.
goalies, Gabby, you're a soccer player, a goalie. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? I know you have some you decided where you're gonna go play in college as well. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been playing soccer since kindergarten or first grade, and I also played softball a little bit, did a little bit of horseback riding, but ultimately decided that soccer was going to be kind of what I wanted to go forward with, like in eighth grade, I think it was. And I didn't actually start playing goalie until full time until my freshman year. And so I've been playing that. I've really been trying to kind of get better, and I've been going to all these ID clinics for college, and that ultimately led to me finding my school. I'm going to Emmanuel College in Boston in the fall, so I'm really excited about playing there too.
You guys had a pretty good high school year season this year, right? Your senior year.
Yeah,
Want to talk a little
yeah,
bit about that?
we were the Swickle champs, so our league we won, and then we won the Central Mass Athletic Directors Association tournament, and then we were in the final eight for states this year, which was pretty cool because we got moved up to. We were in D1 for the Central Mass tournament, and then I think we were D2 for the state tournament, and we got to play a lot of really good teams. We went to PKs a few times, which was it was new, but it was really exciting to kind of be put under that pressure to perform good for my team in that scenario.
Nice. And then Kayla, I know you had a pretty good field hockey season this fall, and you're gearing up for lacrosse. How did your field hockey season go? And then what are you looking forward to in lacrosse this year?
It went well. Our team, we had a lot of younger players this year on both lacrosse and field hockey. And I think like just sending a bunch, like we had a ton of like freshmen and sophomores put on the field like first game. And it actually, our team grew so much this year as like a community and as like as athletes. And it was really fun to watch like everybody kind of get to know each other on the field and off the field. And lacrosse is going to be the same. We had 6 freshmen starting last year for lacrosse. And so we're all coming back and we're all really excited to improve even more this year.
Nice. So one thing is that we mentioned earlier that your families all come to the gym. Do you guys, I mean, I know for the Bakers, but I'm going to ask about you first, Kayla. Like, do you get competitive with your dad on the workouts and like see who does what? Do you guys kind of like go back and forth at home, or you guys keep it pretty clean?
Oh, I've been accused of cheating about a million times by now. My dad especially, he's so competitive with me just because I'm like the oldest kid. So he's constantly like, he keeps the expectations high, but he also likes to make sure that like he's not beating me, he's not losing to me at all ever. So we got like, he's like, oh, are you gonna go play in college and beat my scores, beat all my records? He gets all excited about it. So it's really fun.
That's awesome. And then Gabby, I mean, I know, why don't you talk a little bit about you and your dad with the deadlifting?
Yeah, so I'm pretty competitive when it comes to kind of who can lift the more weight. It's kind of silly, but especially like even with my brother, I know like I can lift more than him right now at the moment, but then my dad will come in and he started a little bit after me. So I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna have the edge on him for deadlifting for a long time. And that didn't really last. And he just PR'd for 300, I think, the other day, and my PR is only 255. And so he came home and he was like, yeah, I PR'd for 300 today for 2 reps. And I was like, wow, okay. So I have a lot of catching up to do there, but yeah.
It really helps me as a trainer, the motivation you guys have. Just be like, oh, this is what Gabby's doing, Chad. Why don't you pick it up? And then vice versa. And then it's exciting to see David as well. He's grown into his own.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how have you guys felt that like your relationship, it doesn't even have to just be the training itself, but like the everything you guys learned at Prototype and what you've been doing, like how has that helped you guys on the field, like from coming in here to, do you see what's translating on the field for you guys?
Yeah, I think definitely with like, especially in CrossFit with like the AMRAPs and like different EMOMs, things like that, it really like keeps me on my toes and it shows me like how to pace myself and keep the endurance going, but also like push right from the start and like constantly just keep that pace throughout the entire workout, throughout the entire game. And that's really helped me with endurance and speed.
So it's almost like the physical side, but also the mental side of it too, like in the game. Like so, again, a CrossFit workout, when to back off, when to really push. You're seeing that happen on the field too, which is pretty cool. About you, Gab?
So for me, I know you work with us a lot on like explosive stuff. So I feel like that really helps me in that, like for when I have to get off the line quick or if I have to jump up to get a ball, I feel like, I'm ready. And then I guess the more mental aspect of it, I know like I need to in and kind of get this done. Like when I know I'm like going for a new PR, then I know I have to really kind of focus and kind of get my form right before I can do that. So it really helps me kind of focus in on what's happening around me, I feel like.
Nice, cool. So what, Kayla, I'll start with you. What are you most excited to learn through this internship? So I know why you wanted it, but like what are you looking for to learn? Like, what are you most excited about?
I mean, from the start, you told me that this is like a leadership internship, and we're going to learn a lot about leadership and how to work with the business and like work on the backside of things from Prototype. And I'm just really excited to see how like a small business runs like behind the scenes and like what you guys put into all of the um put how much effort you put into everything that goes on at Prototype.
Cool. What about you, Gabby?
Yeah, I agree with what Kayla said. I'm also really excited to kind of learn how to better communicate with people who aren't like necessarily my age. I feel like it's gonna help me moving forward in life, knowing how to communicate with people that are older than me, people who have kind of different backgrounds than me, people who have more experience than me, or even some people my age that walk in. I feel like it's gonna be really helpful to learn how to communicate with all different types of people going forward.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good one for sure. Like thinking back when I was your age, talking with adults and learning how to communicate with them and getting those nerves out, right? I mean, you guys have already, done a really good job with that. Like Cayla, you're in the classes. Gaby, you were there at the front desk last night. So I think there's some awesome value in that. And then yeah, Gaby, you mentioned it in at the beginning, saying like if this was kind of a industry you would like to get into, so kind of experience that. And like Cayla, you expressed that as well. So um definitely a lot of cool stuff you guys will get exposed to. And the stuff you guys do is really well, you're gonna do is really helpful for us, for the coaches, some of the you know stuff that you guys help us get out, and so we could focus on taking a community. But the other thing too is like the community is so great. Like I feel like you guys probably don't feel super intimidated talking to these people because everyone's so welcoming and excited and all that stuff. Why don't you guys speak a little bit more to that, like how you first felt when you had to kind of approach people in here as opposed to how you're feeling now? What were your
Uh,
expectations? That's probably a better way to ask it. Sorry. So like going in, what did you think it would be like, and then what was it actually like?
so when I was younger, I walked in and I knew like two people in there, my dad and my friend's dad. And I was like sitting there like, oh my God, like who am I supposed to like talk to if I need chalk or if I need like help getting the barbell down or something. And I was super scared. But then after like a little bit, the coaches started like getting to know my name and talking to me, and they were always like constantly welcoming and so helpful. And I was like super intimidated, but coming into Prototype, they just like completely changed my mind about like going and asking for help. It was so helpful.
Cool.
Yeah, for me, it was last night was my first time meeting a lot of the people who like do the classes. So I feel like having watched them do their classes before, it's a little bit intimidating seeing. It's really cool, but it's also a little bit intimidating seeing like what they do. So I think meeting them for the first time, I was a little bit nervous, but everyone was super nice. So after a little bit, I realized I didn't really have to be nervous, and they were all super nice. And I had met a couple of coaches before, so they were all really nice and helpful when I needed help with something.
Nice. It's really cool. Gabby, you excited to take some classes? You guys should take
Yeah.
your first one together. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So that kind of transitions. That's like I kind of talked to you guys a little bit about this, but I wanted to let our members know what our process is going to be with you guys and like how it's going to work, and kind of what we're looking to see. So essentially we brought in Cayla and Gaby, and we have another intern who's been with us for a long time, Maddie Silva. And we're gonna go through a 3-month cycle, and these guys are gonna have some projects that they're kind of taking the lead on, whether it be like social media posting workouts in Wodify, entering inputs into Wodify, whatever it is. And then after each month, you guys are gonna kind of cycle, teach the other one what you've learned. So you're gonna learn it, teach it, and then also learn it from someone else. So you guys are kind of like going a nice little circle on learning and teaching, and kind of seeing how you guys could adapt. And then one more time you guys will cycle through it. So we're pretty excited to see how you guys do. Like to be honest, we've already had you guys do a few projects, and they've come out pretty great. You guys have been responsive, but I'm excited to see like once you guys really get your feet wet and start up, what it's going to be like. So I was curious like what you guys think about that, like the whole process we've been using, and what you guys will go through there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like at the beginning, it was a little nerve wracking. I was like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Like, do they like this design style? Like, are they gonna want to post this social media? And I like was a little bit scared, but after like communicating with you, Steve, and like working with Gaby and different people that were going for the internship, it was like a lot easier to kind of know what we were supposed to do. And I'm excited to like get more into this and like keep working with you.
Yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, I think, the first part, because I didn't really know kind of what everyone wanted. But then once I started working more and realizing that, it's okay to ask questions and get some guidance from, Steve, I felt like it's a lot easier. And then working with Cayla this past week has also been really fun. It's helped, I think, make this process a little bit easier too.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, we had a good amount of applicants, and it was really hard to kind of distinguish who we wanted to take on. Like every kid that applied, like, gave me no reason not to hire them. It was more about like, how do I distinguish, the top two here? And what we were looking for was communication, like coachability, and then you know, well, this kind of goes into the communication, but like asking questions, seeking feedback. And you guys both did a really good job with that through the process. So the first thing we sent over to you guys is let everyone know is a graphic to have it redesigned. And what you guys did was, send back some drafts, get feedback, then, make the adjustments, send it back. And in that first, sequence, you guys both kind of like stood out a little bit there by sending over multiple drafts, seeking the feedback, quick adjustments, changing. And we're looking to see how that will like carry over into everything we do. So I know you guys mentioned it was a little nerve wracking when you first started. How did you feel with that like first assignment you got? Because you guys both did a good job on it, but I'm actually pretty curious, like what it was like, getting that. I'm sure you probably haven't been put in that situation before for any type. For you guys, this was your first interview too, right? Your first thing you've applied to. Maybe not, Cayla. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've had a few jobs, but it was
Yeah.
actually like this is the first interview process that has been like a little bit longer and like more, I don't know how to say it, like put more work in for it. And I actually really like enjoyed the first project. I like graphic design and things like that. I just like to be creative. So I saw it and I was like, oh yes, like this is so fun. I was like in history class and I started it in the back of the room on my computer.
Hopefully
And
your dad doesn't listen to this one.
probably will. It's okay. Dad, I was doing my work. And so I was so excited to start this up, and it was a little scary, but it was also like super fun and exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, so this was really the first thing I've really had to interview for. So I think this was a really good process going through. As for the graphic design, that's kind of something I struggled a little bit with because I felt like it has to be perfect. Like what are they gonna like? What's it gonna like? How can I get this to be, as good as possible? So it was a little bit of a struggle there, but once I started going, and trying stuff out, I kind of figured out something that worked and what wouldn't work. And as Steve said, I sent quite a few drafts over and got a lot of feedback. So I feel like that really helped a lot.
Cool. Yeah, no, the communication was great on both your ends, and I'm excited to see how you guys like continue to grow in this. And we're not going to stop pushing you guys, and putting things on you. And so far, you guys have been really responsive, which has been great. So we talked a lot about like Prototype, what you guys have done, like the sports and stuff like that. What's something like that like you don't think people would know about you, like a frivolous thing that you really like to do that maybe isn't like, doesn't have to not be normal, but maybe something that people at the gym who know you as like Cayla, the lacrosse, field hockey, CrossFit athlete, like what's something that you enjoy that you think people wouldn't really know about you?
When I was younger, I did figure skating and gymnastics, and I hated lacrosse and field hockey with all my heart, and I did not want to play competitive sports at all. And so it was only until like middle school that I got into like prototype and like competitive athletics. And I don't think anybody knows that side of me at all.
Cool. Well, I'm sure the gymnastics has helped you with at least the like all your sports, like the balance, the coordination, the mobility, getting into your lifts and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that about you. What about you, Gabby?
Oh boy. So when I was younger, I was in a dance class that did not last very long, which, was probably a good thing looking now, because I don't know if I would have come as far as I have in like soccer and being able to improve. But yeah, I did take a couple dance classes. I did get kicked out because the dance teachers thought I wasn't ready for it yet, but it's all right.
So, but like, what about like, so Gabby, like, you love watching Dance Moms now, right? That's something you like to do. So that's like a thing. Like, Cayla, anything else outside of sports? Like something like you mentioned graphic design, anything like, do you like to like build Legos? Like what's your like your little thing?
That's actually, I mean, I guess TV, definitely. Anytime I can get my hands on the remote, I love watching TV shows. So if anybody comes to me, anybody at Prototype, you need a TV recommendation, I got you. Nice. I've watched about everything on Netflix.
Well, that's actually a good segue, because something that Mike does in all his community conversations, he kind of ask people this like kind of rapid fire 3 questions. So well, what I'll do is I'll ask the first one and then I get both your answers, then we'll go through it. So the first one is like, what's your favorite movie of all time? Favorite movie of all time? Could be anything.
Miracle.
The story of the U.S. Olympic team.
Yeah, the U.S. hockey team.
Oh, yeah, nice, with Herb Brooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I loved that story. I used to watch like the documentary all the time about the guys, and Herb Brooks was he's an intense coach. Have you ever had a coach like him?
Oh yeah, my dad.
Oh, your dad's like Herb. I mean, that's a good thing, right? He's a pretty successful coach, right?
Yeah, you should have seen him yelling at the kids today.
Gabby, what about you? What's your favorite?
I'm gonna have to go with Lilo and Stitch. I feel like, I don't know.
I just recently watched that one, and my daughter's 3.5 and she's into Disney, and that was on the list. That was a good story, actually. So that's the one with the little girl who's she's not trying to get adopted. Is she trying to get adopted, or her mom, it's a single mother, right? And
no, her parents died in an accident.
Yep.
Her
sister is trying to keep her, and then the alien comes down, right? That's like kind of mean, but they become friends. Yeah, that's a good movie. Cool. Okay. Favorite TV show of all time?
Friends.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Can't go wrong with Friends. Do you feel like so I was probably a little like maybe a little younger than you guys when Friends was like actually like airing? Like, do you feel when you watch that, Cayla, like there's stuff like dated stuff that you're like, what is this? Like, what are they doing? Why are they like picking up a phone off the wall and like dialing it?
There are pagers in that TV show, and that really caught me off guard when I saw it. I was like, how do they know who to call from the phone when they get the page? Like, how do they see it on that tiny screen? What are they doing? I was so confused.
Could you check your Instagram account on a pager?
Exactly.
Something cool about Friends that like if you watch it and you see like there's so many shows that are like just modeled completely after that, and it's like it just works, like making you feel like you're in that group, so you kind of get that like feel like you're part of the group, and I think it's a really cool and Friends is good. What about you, Gabby?
Man, I don't even know. I really like Friends. I love watching like reality TV shows like Dance Moms, for example, or like 90 Day Fiance, something I watch too. Just I really like the drama that kind of comes with it.
All right, so I'm not letting you. What is the favorite show? You can't just list like 10 shows.
I don't know. I don't know. I suppose I'm gonna have to go with 90 Day Fiance on that one, just because I've been watching that one, I think, the longest. Yeah.
So I'm not. What is that show? It's like you have. My guess is based off the title, you have 90 days to pick up fiance, or you're what? Yeah, how does it work?
So it's an American person, and then they meet someone from like overseas, like in Europe or Africa or wherever they're from, and then they get engaged, and then they have 90 days to decide whether or not they want to get married. It's kind of funny. I find it funny.
Does it go horribly wrong a lot?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of drama, and I don't know. It makes me question, why people would do that or like air that on TV, but because they have a lot of issues that need to be worked out.
Yeah, there's another TV show now called Love is Blind, and like that makes me think of it. That's a good one, but they like one of the people got engaged in like the first episode, and I was like, how is that possible? Like they haven't even seen each other yet. It was so weird.
Gabby, that actually kind of, well, this is gonna come out wrong. It makes me think of your parents a little bit, right? Like obviously they didn't get engaged in 90 days, but your mom, was she born in Venezuela?
She was born in Puerto Rico. She grew up
Puerto
in
Rico,
Venezuela.
and then your dad is as American as it gets, right? Like he's from yeah, and then they found each other. I think it took a little longer than 90 days, but maybe that's what some of the interest sparks from.
Maybe.
No, I'm kidding. Cool. Okay. So this kind of got answered in the last one, but it's like, what show are you currently binge watching? So it doesn't have to be your favorite show, but like, what are you currently like binging hard right now? Like whenever you have a chance.
So I actually can't binge it because it's one of the ones that comes out once a week, like in the old days. And it's called How I Met Your Father instead of How I Met Your Mother. So it's like a modernized version of How I Met Your Mother. It's really good. It's on Hulu, I think. Hulu.
So did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one of me and my wife's favorite shows. We actually named our dog after Barney Stinson. His name is Barney. So we love that show. No, that's a great show. I haven't really watched How I Met Your Father very much, but I heard that they had some of the original cast in the season finale or something like that.
I think so. I actually don't remember. My mom and I are watching it together, so it becomes a little distracting once in a while, the two of us like laughing at the show.
Yeah.
I'll have to look back on that.
Yeah, I think my wife Jackie was telling me that we didn't watch it yet, but like Robin Colby Smulders was in the episode, and I think maybe like the bartender from the show, like that worked at McLaren's or something like that. I gotta check it out. I haven't had as much time to watch TV as I'd like recently. I think I know the answer to this one, Gabby, but what show are you currently binge watching?
Dance Moms.
Here it is. Yeah. What's your favorite part of Dance Moms?
Oh man, I don't even know. I like watching the moms argue because they argue over the smallest things. It's just I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of funny. I think a lot of it is staged because I don't know how it's possible to argue over something so insignificant. I feel like
You can't look away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. So actually, Gabby, you mentioned you're a senior this year. Cayla, what grade are you in this year?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Nice. Fun times. And then you are at Westboro.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gabby, you are at Grafton High?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Well, we are super pumped to have you guys on board. I'm really looking forward to it, like I said, to see how you guys not only like help us out, but to see your growth and to you guys will challenge us a little bit too. Like it's bringing on 2 new people. You're gonna have new ideas, new ways of seeing things, and we're really excited to have you guys here. And if anyone you come into the gym, don't shy away. Go up and if you see Gabby, go say hey to Gabby. Go say hey to Cayla. Make them talk to you. Something they're working on, right? Cool, guys. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and excited for you guys to get started, and till the next one.
Good to be here.
Anything to say, Gab?